KDB.
Beats Planet.
My bad, y'all. We up here talking, you know what I mean? One day we're gonna sell the behind the scenes of y'all. It is what it is. So today,
I love how you push that every single time.
hey, we just gonna let them know. And one day, 5 years from now, they're gonna be like, damn, but you never sold us the behind the scenes. And then look, we're gonna be like, oh, there's a demand for it. Oh,
well, we didn't know.
We didn't know. There is a way we could do it though. We could set these phones up and have y'all listen, but some of this conversation, the very first conversation that we said was technically cancelable.
The very last conversation could have got me in trouble or you in trouble too. So no, I'm straight.
But you know what though, Will? Still, it ain't on sale yet, goddamn. So don't worry about it. We good to go. Appreciate y'all. For those of you that may not be privy to the information or caught up on what we're doing so far, today is the full draft day. I know I'm in my cowboy attire. It's just what I happen to wear outside today. Don't worry about it. But this is the 32 team draft show. We have these on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We have cowboy draft every day, technically, honestly. But this is draft season. This is how it'll work. So there will be fans from all different parts of the country here. So we welcome y'all. We love y'all to pieces. Today, we're going to be looking at mock drafts. And, I'm not looking at mock drafts to necessarily like criticize where a lot of this placement is, because I haven't watched a lot of these players. It's only February 2nd. Can y'all stop? Okay. Can y'all stop reaching out to me and telling me about this third round prospect I need to watch? It is February 2nd. I thought y'all loved Voch. I thought y'all cared about Voch. I thought you was familiar with Voch. I thought y'all know how Voch get down. Y'all know I take my time doing this. Y'all know I do not start in October, especially when my team winning. And y'all know by the time we get to April, we're going to have 250 people in. So Voch, tell me about this third round kid. Voch, I know you seen him. I have not. I have not. And it lets me down to have to look y'all asses in the face and go, I have no clue who that character is, but I'm going to know who he is at some point. When's the some point, Voch? I don't know. Whenever the fuck I get there. If y'all want to keep up with the film I'm watching, y'all can check us out on patreon.com/Voch Lombardi. We've done Jalen Carter over there on the Patreon. We have gone through offensive linemen. The other day we watched offensive line. I sent Will Steele a link to go back and look at offensive line. So next week I'll have enough offensive linemen in my Rolodex to give you qualified offensive line opinion. So next week you can ask me about the first 15 or so tackles and guards, but don't ask me about them, them day 3 guys. We'll get there when we get there. Today, what I really wanted to do with these mock drafts is to, first of all, get a feel for what players are going to go where. I'm going to eventually make my own mind up about that, but I just want to see, cool, how many corners are going in the first round according to this player, where to this person or whatever. Yeah. Mock. Where's Bijan Robinson going? How many quarterbacks are going to go? What do they think about Anthony Richardson? Who's their best player in the draft? Where's Will Anderson going to go? Who are the Cowboys going to draft? You see what I'm saying? So that's what we're going to be looking for, just to kind of get a feel of the draft. Are there any first-round safeties this year? Just to get a preliminary idea of what's going on, and then we'll move on to making my own opinions about it. Will, still, I got drops today. You ready for them?
Hey, well, I'm ready for them, but when you're talking mock drafts, it's only right that we do this one, right? Here we go. It's only right. It's only right, bro.
Appreciate you, man. That's my point guard, though. I'm Voch Lombardi, by the way. Appreciate y'all.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
VOCHLOMBARDI. Y'all can tap in on all my social media platforms, Voch Lombardi, patreon.com/Voch Lombardi for all the extra football content, and twitch.tv for my non-football content. I'm being point guarded by the best in the business, Will Steele.
My name is Will. Little motherfucker talking shit.
And Skywalker Steele.
It's been a minute. I ain't really had the energy to do it, but it's been a minute, but it's back, baby. It's draft season. We over the loss. Let's do it.
It's all good, my guy. I didn't even want to hit you with the Willie Beeman drop or whatever, but it was just so appropriate because in the movie, after the song was going off, it was the little motherfucker talking shit. I was like, boy, that's Will Steele too. So we about to hit him with the Willie Beeman drop.
I'm glad we got some new drops, man.
Got some new drops, man. So look, the phone lines are open for y'all if y'all want to tap in with us. We don't know how long the mocks are going to carry us. That's going to be the bulk of the content for the day, but y'all can call into the show. The number's on the screen, 202-926-11. 202-926-1127. Access code 309104. Appreciate y'all.
The conference has been unlocked.
It's unlocked. All right, cool. Will Steele, let's get into that tankathon mock. Come on, Voch.
I love when you mess up and you push that one. No matter what we're talking about, it's always funny.
Because it's color-coded. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, this is my pink button. But that's pink button on deck 2. I need pink button on deck 1. It's all good.
Hilarious.
Play us fuck up. Let's look at the tankathon mock and see what we can get from it. And the phone lines are open if y'all want to jump in, but we'll take phones after the mocks. All right. And we're still gonna have it pulled up, and I'll pull it up on my screen just to make sure we're all simpatico. Just make sure we're all good. Hey man, these mock draft websites, boy, they be trying to get their little money in, boy. They try to get their money. They be trying to sell you all kind of drugs on the side.
Cialis.
all the shit, I mean, all the little fake watches they got, boy. They try to sell them to you, boy. But here we go. on the Tankathon draft, like I said, we're looking for how many quarterbacks are going, how many DBs are going. We're looking at wide receivers, how many wide receivers can fall to your team. I'm a Dallas Cowboy guy, so I'm definitely going to be looking at the guys that are in my range. So let's get into it. We're not doing nothing else. Will Anderson is the first player off the board. We had a conversation about this, and it's funny because I asked a bunch of people just in the draft sphere or whatever. I was like, hey, who's your best player in the draft? Who's your number one guy? And I hear a lot of people say Jalen Carter, in which I agree. You know, that's my, take on it. And I think it's going to be interesting because even if Jalen Carter is your best player on the board, do you take a D tackle at first overall? So now we get into window dressing your board. Now we get into overthinking shit. That's really why I don't like being in the top 5 or top 10, because it's almost like the board makes you pick a guy. You know what I mean? Like most of the time, like these top players that go on the top of the draft, you'll take corners up there, quarterbacks go, pass rushers go, pass protectors go, right? But like, what if the best player in the draft is a linebacker? You don't feel good about taking a linebacker that high. Or, these running backs that we're going to talk about. Bijan Robinson is probably going to be high on people's big board, but where does he fall in people's mocks? So this is going to be interesting that some of the best players in this draft, they're at non-important position values, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. Y'all understand what I'm talking about? Their position is not considered to be valuable or whatever. So we'll cross that road when we get there.
For a guy like Jalen Carter, Voch, is he one of those guys though that you don't care about the position? Can he give you pass rush? Because I know people are gonna say, well, if he's defensive lineman, can he give me pass rush? Like, I know it's not 1992 Ted Washington, but I mean, come on.
So if there's any knock on him, Will Steele, and this ain't even really a knock, I'm just like nitpicking or whatever, right? Is he doesn't have all the pass rush tools in his belt. So with that, he gets a gang of pressure, Will Steele. He get a lot of pressure, but he may not get sacks because he doesn't know when to disengage or he doesn't know when to cross chop or whatever, right? If he goes to the Aaron Donald big, fast, pass rushy dude school or whatever, then he'll be perfect for you. He'll be good to go.
So that can get coached up.
It can be coached up.
Right,
but he's so physically impressive, Will Steele, that he gets pressure, that he can pick somebody's son up and take them to the quarterback. He plays A-gap a lot, but he's not traditional one tech where he's like slow out there. See, my whole thing about Quentin Williams was a fantastic run defense guy, but he didn't give me that super athletic thing that I wanted. He was athletic for his size athletic. I think Jalen Carter is just athletic, so he has more ceiling than Quentin Williams, but he does that same thing in the run game that Quentin Williams does. So Jalen could be better because you can get pass rush from Jalen Carter.
Then I don't give a damn about no position. Because if that guy can affect the passer in the middle of the pocket, it's worth it to me.
I'm trying to think of a good comp for Will Anderson. And I don't do comps for this reason because I think everybody's a different guy, right? But I don't think he's not a Myles Garrett type. I don't think he's not a Micah Parsons type. He wins like Bradley Chubb used to win, but I don't think he's a Bradley Chubb guy. You know what I mean? He's not a Bosa guy. I don't think he's that dominant. I think he's a really good run game player, and he's a player with sack production. But he one of them dudes that get sacks, but it ain't like, oh well, he's earning this sack. He just gets them a bunch, right? He's an effort guy. He's a push guy around. He's a push guys around guy. So when I look at Will Anderson, I'm just looking at him like, man, what type of dude are you gonna be in the league? And what I just keep thinking about, he's a dude that'll go really well if you got a primary pass rusher on your team already. That's how I look at Will Anderson. I don't look at him as a guy that you're building your whole defense around, but he's a guy that can get you some like a Zadarius Smith type of dude, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Who's a fantastic player. Don't get me wrong. But we don't look at Zadarius Smith and put him in the same conversation as Nick Bosa or nothing like that. You know what I mean? Right. So that's where I'm looking at with Will Anderson. However, Jalen fucking Carter is going to be one of the best defensive tackles in the whole league one day. You see what I'm saying? So that's why he's my better player than Will Anderson. So but we'll cross this road. Go ahead.
One's a Batman, one's a Robin.
He's a good fucking Robin. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? I don't even want to say Batman and Robin like he's a sidekick to Batman, but he's more of like he's Aquaman in the Justice League, but he can't go in outer space. That motherfucker can't fly. He's
no more. He need to be by the water.
Look, if it's anything in the water, he busting their ass, boy. Him and 6 whales gonna come fuck some shit up, but he can't go in space and he can't fly. So if something happens to the Empire State Building, he can't help you, right? But in all the oceans, motherfucker, he got under the ocean, on top of the ocean. That's Will Anderson to me, you know what I mean? But that's hilarious, Vash. Whatever. But anyway, moving on. Bryce Young, they have him as the best quarterback in the on the board right now. I think this is going to come down to where these guys fit, or where that offensive coordinator likes to, you know what I mean? So when you look at Frank Reich, you don't think Frank Reich is going to be a guy that's going to be using, you know, like a mobile quarterback. He's like the dude that like the big arm guys, you know what I mean? The stand-up guys. So I think that's why you're going to see a lot of people. It's not happening now, but it's going to happen at some point. They're going to start mocking Levis to Colts because Levis fits what Frank likes more. And I don't know this for sure. I'm just assuming.
Frank is with the Panthers now. So
he with the Panthers?
Correct.
I'm bullshit.
Yeah,
I'm bullshit.
So the Panthers have to trade up. We don't know what the hell the Colts are going to want to do.
Don't know what the fuck the Colts going to do.
Yeah, and same thing with the Texans. Who is D'Amico Ryans hiring as OC and all that good stuff just quite yet. So it's very early.
Enough. Hey, listen, throw that last 40 seconds of analysis out. Will still kept me straight. Appreciate you, sir.
Gotcha,
so yeah, any fucking quarterback can go to the Colts. Thank you, Will Steele.
Well, they need a quarterback. So yeah.
They do need a quarterback. I don't think the Colts are gonna go non-quarterback here. They should definitely go quarterback. What's interesting about this first and this third pick is either one of these dudes can trade out of their pick, right? So thank you, ma'am. The Bears can opt to. And I don't think this is smart. The Bears can opt to get a king's ransom for some team trying to jump in front of these quarterback needy teams to get those picks. Will it happen? I don't know. I
would definitely entertain it. Very San Fran like a couple years ago where they moved down 2 spots and the Bears moved up to go get Mitchell Trubisky. If the Colts really wanted Bryce Young or CJ Stroud, but they don't want to risk another team jumping them or risk another team trading up to number 3 or trying to get, you know, the Texans out of there, the Bears, I'll be opening up the phones, brother. Because think about it, what they're not in the market for a Q. I would definitely trade down to 4 to get a king's ransom, 100%.
The interesting thing is, though, Will Steele, I will definitely trade away from Will Anderson, but I don't think I want to trade away from Jalen Carter. That's the interesting thing. I don't want to trade because I do see teams all the time. Like if you the Browns or something, the Browns will trade back. Like, oh shit, we traded back with them first round picks turning to David and Njoku and fucking Peppers or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't fully take advantage of using those trade back situations or whatever, right? So I do want to be careful with trading back. I just want to know who I'm trading back from. Like I said, I'll trade away from Anderson. I don't want to trade away from Jalen Carter. But let's move on. We've been hanging around this for a minute. Let me go back on my screen. So CJ Stroud is the guy to go to the Colts. All right, cool. More will develop and we'll cross that road whenever we get there. The Seahawks are at 5. That is correct, right? Yeah, Seahawks are at 5. They got Miles Murphy, the edge from Clemson. And then right after that to Detroit, they got Tyree Wilson, the edge from Texas Tech. Now, me and Jeff Kavanaugh had this conversation, and Jeff liked Tyree Wilson more than Will Anderson. So I don't know if this is going to be like a flavor ice cream type deal because Tyree Wilson is the more get up field and explodey guy, right? Miles Murphy is probably more of the basey guy. The base 4-3 guy. Will Anderson is an edge player that stands up sometimes, but plays 3 tech, but too small for 3 tech sometimes. Will Anderson is really the size of a linebacker, really. You know what I'm saying? Because when he lines up at 3, he's kind of small, and it's really his effort getting him through that. I don't know if it's gonna be just like once he gets to the league, nobody's gonna use him like Bama used him, but it'll be interesting to see how all this developed. The Raiders at 7. The Raiders got 7. The Raiders are the 7th overall pick. That's real. Well, let me go back to this. Make sure ain't no trades in this draft. Yep, the Raiders are at 7. All right, cool. And they pick quarterback. So cool. Just look at this run right here. Raiders at 7, Falcons at 8, Panthers at 9. If you want a quarterback, you got to be aggressive and you got to go up. You got to go up and get them. I think this is going to be very important here because if a quarterback is sitting at 8, I don't think them dudes trust Desmond Ridder like that. They get D lineman Byron Breesy. I think it's Breesy is what it is. And of course, Carolina. I mean, they got Corral from Ole Miss from last year, but I don't think that's a guy that they want to bank on. And this is a problem, Will. Still, let me run this by you. I think a lot of teams, some teams overdraft quarterbacks just because they're quarterbacks, right?
Yes.
And sometimes it'll put them in this. Sure. And sometimes it'll put them in this purgatory, right? This quarterback purgatory to where, you really not looking for a quarterback because you got this young dude that you think can win, but you may or may not have faith in him. So these young guys that got drafted last year, they're not necessarily the super good guys, but they're dudes that you want to see what they got. So if you Pittsburgh with Pickett, if you Carolina with Corral, if you the Falcons with Ritter, and if you the Titans with Malik Willis, those are 4 young quarterbacks. They all got question marks. You really ain't draft none of them high except Pickett. Pickett was in.
I was about to say I would take Pickett out of that.
Sure,
yeah, he's a first round pick.
But I don't even think I don't think they trust Pickett though. Will still. That's my problem.
They like Pickett.
They love Pickett.
Yeah, they like Pickett in Pittsburgh. I mean, they drafted him in the first round. They're going to give him a shot. But go ahead with your point.
Y'all motherfuckers brave. Well, Voch personally wouldn't be having faith in Pickett like that because even on my draft, Pickett wasn't as high as them dudes, and whatever. But even in that case though, Will, still this situation kind of works, kind of sorta, because I don't think Pickett's a guy that's gonna turn your franchise around. I think if Pickett goes out there and he puts up an 8-9 type season, 9-8 type season, I think Pittsburgh gonna be right back in the quarterback race. It's not like if you got a guy like Trevor Lawrence, you go 8-9, you go, all right, we know we got Trevor Lawrence for the next couple of years. So I think those 4 teams, I think they got decisions to make. They got decisions to make of, do we trust the young guys that we have now, or do we go out and roll some more dice to see what we have? It's gonna be interesting to see how that falls. Let me get back to my list here. Joey Porter Jr., fantastic cornerback. Haven't watched him, but I saw him in passing. If you were on Twitter while football season was going on, you have seen Joey Porter Jr., cornerback from Penn State, and the effing Eagles, man. Just the rich get rich. Now, this is draft season. I don't really do fan rivalry for real. I definitely don't do it in the off season, but the rich get richer, man. The rich just keep on getting richer. Now, this is why I have a problem. I'm cutting music off. Will, still, did you watch the film I sent you yesterday?
I have not got a chance to get to it yet. Nope.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. No rush, sir. You'll get to it when you get to it. We got till 8. Peter Skoronski. I don't think I've officially come live on the YouTube channels and hated on him properly yet. So Skoronski from Northwestern. Let me get my buttons ready, Will, still. A lot of people say that he's the best offensive lineman in the draft.
Stop the cap.
Some people are projecting him to be a guard because he got short arms.
Stop the cap.
Some people say, oh, Voch, I compare him to Rashawn Slater.
It's false. No way. Not this time. We created it.
I'm going to let this shit run for a minute.
No, not this time.
I'm going to let this shit run for a minute.
Pure fiction. It's fiction. It's fiction.
3 more.
We made it up.
2.
We made this one up.
1.
It's a made-up tale.
I'm not a fan of Peter Skoronski at all, Will, still. And I think one of the problems that we have in draft world right now, and look, y'all ain't got to believe me. I ain't nobody. I'm just O-line guy. O-line is my favorite. It's my favorite kind of ice cream. You know what I'm saying? I played it, coached it for a long time, total 13 years. I had fun. I studied it even more in my free time. That probably put me up to 15, 16 or something like that. So I ain't saying y'all got to listen to me, but whatever. Just because you have short arms don't make you a guard. Just because you may not be good at tackle don't make you a guard. They're totally different positions. Even center is different from guard and tackle. My problem with Skoronski, he currently plays tackle. I don't think he's very good at it, Will, still, but he's solid. He's a solid tackle, right? But I don't think he's as good as what this is, 11th overall. I don't think he's as good as 11th overall. So people saying, well, Voch, he has short arms, but there are many tackles that can overcome short armness. Sure. Rashawn Slater is a guy that can overcome short armness because he has enough technique and nuance to know what to do when he faces long pass rushers. You go watch his Chase Young film. That's really the only film you need to go see. But go watch his Chase Young film. And the first thing that Chase tries to do is long arm him. Rashawn Slater bends at the elbow, makes Chase shorter, under the arm with the other side, and next thing you know, your arm length is the same length as Chase Young's. Finish your block. Peter Skoronski doesn't have the wherewithal or the nuance to do that. Voch, how do you know this? I watched 2021 and 2022 film, and every time he ran into a long arm character, and that player ain't even got to be good, Will Steele, but they beat the shit out of him. They beat the shit out of him, and he didn't look impressive. And if I'm going to be drafting a tackle at 11th overall, I want to know how he looks versus elite talent. He plays for Northwestern. I just happened to have 2021 Michigan. David Ojabo, Aiden Hutchinson. And they took turns kicking his ass, Will Steele. It's on my Patreon, by the way, patreon.com/Voch Lombardi. Y'all can go watch it if you want to. So when I look at Skoronski, I go, well, damn, he has a hard time dealing with length. So maybe he is a guard. But then let's keep watching film because maybe his skill set doesn't translate to guard. He did get stronger between 2021 and 2022. But I don't think he's strong enough to win in the phone booth. And that's what I look for in guards. It ain't about short arms to me. You can have long arms and play guard. But if you can't win in the phone booth, if you can't dig somebody out of A-gap, if you can't push people around, if you don't combo well, if you're not a good help guy, then you're not a good guard. I don't care how big you are. I don't care what your arm length is. I don't care if you're small.
And he looks, is those measurables right? 294?
He don't look big neither.
Okay.
Facts. And I don't like my guards to be light in the ass. Why? Because 1 text and 3 texts are not light in the ass. Yeah. They're not. So I watch Peter Skoronski and I go, well, if he can't dig people out of A-gap, if he's not very powerful, he can be nasty against some people. You know, Brandon from Frankly Football vouched for Skoronski, says he's the best player. I say, well, Brandon, what film did you watch? Brandon said like 2021 Illinois and 22 something. Basically teams with
2020 Illinois, 2022 Nebraska.
Teams with not great, DN talent. All right, cool, fine. But I even watched that film and I was like, man, look, he did okay here, but I'm talking about like best tackle in the draft though. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's relative. Yes, you can beat up on the Illinois kids, but why you didn't do that to the Michigan kids? So I got questions. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't do it versus the Purdue kids, and he didn't do it versus Ohio State kids in 2022. So this ain't me shitting on Skoronski. I just necessarily wouldn't take him at 11th overall. That's my whole thing about Skoronski. I say play the motherfucker at center. and look, that's not an insult. I just think he can't play guard, and I just think he's not as great at tackle because he can't deal with length. I just say put him at center because it looks like he can move in both directions. Go ahead.
That sounds troubling, man. For when I say troubling, I mean for a guy that's looks like, I believe, if I go back on this list, the first offensive lineman off the board. You're talking about,
yes.
Talking about a dude that we don't know where he excels at on the offensive line.
Sure.
Interesting.
Sure. And the more we watch film, we watched Broderick, is it Jones? Because it's Jones and Johnson's all over this motherfucker.
Yep.
We watched Broderick Jones, Paris Johnson Jr. from Ohio State.
And Dewan, right?
And then we watched Dewan Johnson, motherfucker. With Dewan Jones? Dewan Jones. Yeah. Dewan Jones. And then we watched 79, motherfucker. I know that. And then we watched Dewan Jones.
They call him Big Thanos.
Oh, is that what they call him?
Yeah.
Oh, that's appropriate, goddammit. That's appropriate. Will Steele. Skoronski ain't better than goddamn Dewan. And he ain't better than
Paris,
what's his name? Paris. He ain't better than Paris. And Broderick, who's athletic as shit, who's strong as shit, he just got to fix his technique a little bit. Skoronski can probably do some things better than him now, but I think Broderick's ceiling is higher than Skoronski's because Broderick has all the traits that you want. He's got to learn where to punch people and where to bring his feet. So just me looking at Skoronski right now, I like 3 other dudes more than him. I maybe like him more than the Tennessee kid because I watched him. But the Tennessee kid ain't bad. But I maybe like Peter Skoronski better than him. And we still got to watch the Oklahoma kid. We still got to watch the Maryland kid. So we got a little time to think about this. But just my initial thoughts on Peter Skoronski, I wasn't impressed. Now, I haven't been keeping up with Senior Bowl at all. Apparently, Dewan Jones been beating the shit out of everybody at Senior Bowl.
Yes,
I just watched his game tape, and Dewan is Dewan and Paris Johnson are my 2 top tackles right now. One's the right tackle, one's the left tackle. I don't know how much they can switch or whatever, but I think Paris is probably going to be rated higher and taken higher because his ceiling is higher. He has the build, he has the movement skills, he has the athleticism, the hands, and all that. He's the left tackle, yes. Yeah. But he probably just has to refine himself and really tap into a ceiling. That's what we're looking for with Paris. Jawan, his floor is higher right now, but I don't think his ceiling is very high at all. I think Dewan Johnson, 79, motherfucker. I think 79 Dewan Johnson. I think he's as good as he is right now. But that's pretty damn solid right now. He doesn't have the feet that Paris has, but he's long. He's heavy he's heavy in the mud, and he's strong as shit. I like strong as shit. So I'm willing to bet you this now. DeJuan Jones may not be in the first round conversation right now. By the end of the draft process, trust Voch. Voch knows. Jones, my bad. I keep saying it's Jones and Johnson's all over the place. Pardon me, and pause, by the way. DeJuan is going to be a first round player by the time we get to the end of the draft process. And as a Cowboys fan, I'm drafting that motherfucker at 26, and I'm not batting an eye. I'm celebrating if I can get him at goddamn 26. But that's all I gotta say about that. Did you have any thoughts on that, Winston?
No, you're good to go.
Cool. On my Patreon, patreon.com, you can see all the work that I did. So like in math class, you just can't show it with the answers and not like show your work. All my work is on Patreon. So if you doubt anything that I say or you don't trust anything that I say, it's patreon.com/Voch Lombardi. You'll get my raw reactions and film analysis as I'm going through the film. So there we go. Let's scroll down a little bit. Let's scroll down. We may not get to the second mark, but that's okay.
I like this one. This one much better.
Yeah. Let's see. We left off on. So Peter Skoronski goes 11. Paris goes 12. I don't hate that at all.
Bit of a run on tackles right there.
That's the Texans. All right, cool. So look, that's important. So if you're a team like my beloved Dallas Cowboys, if you want to tackle, there's a run on them right there. So one of your receivers is gone and 3 tackles is gone right now. So you might want to keep eyes on that. Christian Gonzalez, haven't seen him, heard he's fantastic. We'll watch cornerbacks at some point. I hate corners. I hate safeties more than corners, but I just dislike corners a little bit. But we'll definitely get into some DB talk one day soon. And then Jordan Addison, the number 2 receiver on this mock draft, comes off the board to the Green Bay Packers. It's funny, like Aaron Rodgers ends up on his way out, and everybody like, "Hey man, get him some wide receiver help now." They probably drafted a linebacker or a corner or something.
Looks like
Anthony. Go ahead.
Yeah, he is the second receiver. You're right, Quentin Johnson. We didn't really talk about Quentin Johnson, but yeah.
When we talk about Quentin Johnson's cool player.
9 to the Panthers.
Yeah, 6'4", 215. He's he plays big in the air. He plays big with the ball in his hand, but he plays small at the line of scrimmage. He tries to be a sideways player. He tries to be a little shifty sometimes. I wish he would just play a little bigger like he is because he's 6'4". Hopefully some coach will teach him how to be 6'4", 6'4", 215 or whatever his combine measurement is going to be whenever we get there. And I think he'll be a fantastic player, but he'll probably be a wide receiver too for somebody to go along with DJ Moore in this situation. But I think in real life, Carolina's probably going to be fighting to get to the top of the board. But we'll see. Anthony Richardson is important. The Washington Football Wizards take him as 16th overall. And that's important because Anthony Richardson he's a dice roll. We don't really know where he's going to go in general. He can go anywhere between he could be in the top 10 if somebody likes him, or he can fall to the 3rd round because his mechanics are all they're all over the place. His quarterback vision is all over the place. Like his quarterback cone this big. He'll throw the ball to the other team, decision making, things like that. But his arm is off the charts. His athleticism, his size, it's some Cam Newton in there, some Josh Allen in there, some gunslinger in there somewhere. But do you have the coaching staff to harness it? If you're a Brian Daboll guy and you've harnessed a guy like this before,
right?
You know what I mean? Then there's somebody out there that can harness this again. That's just, that's
tell you what, if he's going to that team, that ain't the team for him. If you're trying to develop a raw talent like that with that head coach, who's the offensive coordinator now? Now they got weapons, but again, I say this all the time: you have weapons, you could have talent, but can you put it together? You're gonna need some coaching there.
Yep. You can really treat him like you treated Jalen Hurts. You know what I mean? Like draft him, hold on to him, develop him, fix him, and fit him into a system that works for him, and go fly. I hate that I just said fly because of them dudes. I hate that. Ugh. My bad, y'all. Keely Ringo, I've seen his tape, and I'm probably gonna watch some more tape just to be sure on all these guys, corners. Athletic as hell. Shucks, what's my man name in Seattle? The athletic dude, the rookie, the corner.
6'8" corner, yeah.
Woolen, Tariq Woolen. Keely Ringo could be Tariq Woolen, but he also could be trash. So we just gotta figure this out. we just gotta cross the road whenever we get there. He has all the measurables, but he just needs to work on the nuances a little bit. So we'll see. We'll cross the road whenever we get there. Alex says Voch want to be an Eagles fan so bad. Well, Alex, I'm not the one watching Eagles content, sir. You want to be a Cowboy fan. Yeah, I know, Voch. This is draft day, but motherfucker, you here 5 days a week. I ain't trying to hit. Motherfucker, you don't miss a show. Quit playing with me, doc. Michael Mayer, tight end, Notre Dame. He goes to the Lions here. I don't think the Lions would necessarily go tight end here. I think the Lions.
How hilarious is that? They took a tight end a couple years ago, top 10, and they'll take another tight end when they get rid of that top 10 tight end.
I think if anything, I think the Lions go, hey man, we're fantastic on offense. Like, let's just put as many dudes on defense as we possibly can. That's real life what the Lions might end up doing, but we'll cross that road whenever we get there. This shit is a lie. They got Bijan Robinson going to the Buccaneers. If anything, Tom Brady ain't playing football, so y'all might want to be a trade up candidate. But I think the Bucs just drafted a young guy that they like a lot. Rashad White. Yeah, they like him a lot. So I don't think they're just gonna be drafting Bijan just to be drafting Bijan. So yeah, we're not gonna go there. Seattle drafted Cam Smith, cornerback out of South Carolina. I heard of the name, haven't watched the film yet. We'll get there slowly but surely. And look, this is something else that we had to remind ourselves, right? Everybody that's below the 21st pick, all them dudes kind of get bumped up one pick because Miami want to be calling Sean Payton, you know what I mean, seeing how he doing and tampering and shit. So the Cowboys get the 27 pick, so it's just like we've got the 26 pick. So that'll be fun. Let's see. Brian Branch, safety from Alabama. I don't watch safeties. They're annoying, but we'll get there at some point, y'all. So we'll get there. Jackson Smith. Appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate you, my guy. I'm gonna get to it. I promise. Fusty King gonna watch all the safeties.
Yeah, me and Fuss, we like safeties, brother.
And I'll go to him and tell him how he's wrong about offensive linemen. But it's cool. Where we at? Jackson Smith and Jigba. He's the third wide receiver. 1, 2. Jordan Addison second. Yep. Jackson Smith and Jigba. So the third wide receiver comes off the board at the 23rd overall pick, and that's a conversation that we're gonna have. This ain't a wide receiver class like, okay, well, Jalen Waddle and Jamar Chase go top 10 or something. This ain't that kind of wide receiver class. This is a wide receiver class where this sounds scary, but John Donson and Treadwell, they fall into the 20s. So let's see how that goes.
Well, Donson actually had a good year. Treadwell, though, man, that's probably one of my biggest misses ever.
Treadwell lied to all us, motherfucker. He lied to everybody. Rich homie Quan Treadwell, I remember that. But anyway, yeah, Jackson Smith and Jigba, a much needed wide receiver option. I don't know what the Ravens going to do about their quarterback situation, but if they can retain him and come back, Jackson Smith and Jigba would be a fantastic receiver for them to hold on to and retain and to have for the next couple years.
This one right here, I'm really intrigued about because I like big old interior linemen that can push these guys off the line of scrimmage, and Osiris seemed like that type.
That motherfucker ain't push Jalen Carter, did he?
Well, Jalen's
I understand that's Jalen Carter. I understand that's Jalen Carter. I get that that's Jalen Carter, but boy.
Talk to me about Osiris Torrance, though.
I ain't watching. I got to watch the rest of the film. Because you know what, man? Sometimes, man, some film just discourages you, right? And I was going to watch him first because I was like, oh, boy, Cowboys, we may need an interior guy. Let me watch this motherfucker first. But I watched Jalen first, and I was like, man, I'll watch this dude when I get to him. But there's going to be a batch of offensive linemen. Actually, I'll look at my – hold on, chat. Give me a second. We're going to watch Steve Avila, 79. That's a guard from TCU. We're going to watch Osiris Torrance, 54, interior guy from Florida, and we'll probably watch Anton Harrison, tackle from Oklahoma. That'll be the next set of Patreon dudes that we watch. So we'll watch 2 guards and a tackle next time we get on Patreon. So
remind me to holler at you about the plug.
Indubitably. Devin Witherspoon, another cornerback. We see a lot of corners right here. So let me just go back and count. That's 1 corner, 2 corners, 3 corners, 4 corners. So the 5th corner come off the board.
That's a lot of corners.
At 25th overall, and the 6th corner come off at 30th. So this is a and I've heard this is a cornerback heavy draft. Matt Owen, the guy that I trust, he says that he has six first round corners. So that ain't my information. I'm gonna watch film and I'll let y'all know how I feel about that. But that's just what I've been hearing. It's February 2nd. Hang tight. But hey, cornerback goes to Jacksonville. Trenton Simpson, linebacker from Clemson, ends up going to the New York Giants. The boy's gonna sign Daniel Jones and Saquon, boy. We just gonna throw a little party. So the Dallas Cowboys, offensive tackle Anton Harrison from Oklahoma. Haven't watched him. Don't ask me what I think of him. The next Patreon we're gonna be watching. But we'll see. And what I do like about this pick is that it's a tackle and not another interior guy. Right. So if he's a tackle, then that means Tyler Smith is going to be playing guard for you. That's a little gangster party within itself.
It's definitely a position of need, so it makes sense for Dallas.
It's definitely a position of need, but I'll be upset because that means DeJuan Jones on the board and we didn't take him, so that'll upset the shit out of me. But it is what it is. Isaiah Foskey, boy, that's a name there, boy. Foskey, Notre Dame edge rusher. Haven't gotten there. We'll probably watch edge rushers after we watch these next few interior guys because it's some guys that are interesting to me. Lucas Van Ness is another edge rusher. He goes to the Bengals. Now in this mock, they got Clark Phillips, cornerback from Utah, going to the Saints. We don't think the Saints is gonna hang around at 30. We think the Saints are going to try to package up these picks and go move up to go get a quarterback. At least they should. So that'll be interesting just to kind of see how that goes. BJ Ojulari, I wonder if that's Aziz's brother.
I was about to ask you, is that the other kid's brother?
Too soon for me, but I'll find out for you. BJ Ojulari, pass rush from LSU. I've seen that name before. He goes to Kansas City, and the Philadelphia Eagles, their last pick of the first round, they have Antonio Johnson, safety from Texas A&M. I'll watch safety sometime in like May or something, and I had an answer for you. So there we go, chat. And we're just gonna look at the Walter football mock draft too, but
yeah, good.
Listen, man, we work smarter, not harder. You feel me? we work smarter, not harder. Let's slow down. Maybe next week we'll look at the Walter football mock. You know what I mean? Just slow down. But yeah, that's the mock draft, man. That's the mock. Will, did you have any questions about that mock draft? Any of the dudes that we looked at or talked about?
Nah, I mean, usually mock drafts this early just get me familiar with some of the players. I don't really go too into the mock draft. I do like to look at some of the Dan Jeremiah, Bucky Brooks types, Dan Brugler when he drops his a little bit later. But I don't really start taking them too seriously until like after Senior Bowl, after Combine, things like that. But it's good to see some of these names because it gives me kind of a starting point.
The conference has been locked.
I'm a Cowboys fan, so I just want to give a short perspective on like the Cowboys draft opportunities, whatever. And I know most of my audience is Cowboys also. So y'all wouldn't mind this. Everybody else, slow down, take your time. Play along, everybody else. So what I think is interesting about this draft for the Cowboys, right, is aside from the top 10 or so guys, you know what I mean? The Cowboys are in this for offense. We in this for offensive line. We in this for wide receiver, right? That just makes sense. All right, cool, boom. We saw in this mock draft, Will Steele, we had a lot of cornerbacks, a lot of edge rushers. We saw a tight end up there. We ain't really looking for a tight end or whatever. There's a running back up there. I hope we're not looking to get running back or anything. But all those positions push positions down for us. You know what I'm saying? They just push guys down for us. So what we're going to be hoping for is that a lot of teams fall in love with these edge rushers. Now, if the Cowboys can get a really good corner at 27, then fine. We're just going to take the corner, move on our life, mind our business. But I'm really hoping for wide receiver or offensive lineman that a quality wide receiver or offensive lineman falls to the Cowboys pick, and that can get done if a lot of defensive players end up going prior to that. All right, let's get into the phones if Will still ain't got nothing else.
I concur. Maybe I might be throwing maybe cornerback too. Might throw that in there.
If a really good cornerback can get there,
if one of them goes,
I'll do it. But right now, my current plan for cornerback is Trey and Bland outside, and Jordan Lewis.
Yeah, you can survive. Yeah,
you can live. I don't like my guard situation. I can't stand my wide receiver situation.
Yeah, so 100% wide receiver, left side, right, is what we like to say. Left side offensive line or top for me.
Yeah, buddy, DeJuan Jones play right tackle. We gonna fit his ass at left tackle. He gonna work there. God damn it, we gonna do all kind of dexterity training, make him right with his left hand and shit. We gonna fix that boy and put him at left tackle. Boy, we gonna make that shit work. All right, y'all. I got 5 callers.
I got 5 on it.
Love it. Let's boogie. Let's get Nick Gash on the phone. What's up, Nick?
What's going on, Voch? I'm looking over this mock draft.
Man, are you talking to me on a walkie-talkie, man? What the business is, dog? You just gonna move on? You just gonna move on from that?
I figured something was up.
Nick in the bathroom.
What the business is, man? You talking on that Bluetooth headset, boy? Go ahead. That's a little better.
We good now? Shit. My fault. My AirPods are tweaking. But we're talking about these quarterbacks, right? And you have to be 4 quarterbacks that we're looking at as first round prospects or whatever.
Right.
Every year we have those like random quarterbacks that may or may not get reached upon. Those Matt Jones, right?
Yeah.
And I know you have not watched it yet, but do you think there's a chance that a team like a Tampa or a New Orleans that's sitting in the back of this draft potentially reaches on a quarterback because they think that's their guy?
I don't think those dudes exist this year. I think the first 4 guys are the 4 guys. Like Stanford got a kid, BYU got a kid, Tennessee got a kid, and I don't think people looking at those guys as like premier, go give me a first round type of guy. You know what I'm saying? So I think the first 4 guys are the first 4 guys, but actually the first 3 are impossible because Anthony Richardson is the wild card. So if you asking, Anthony Richardson is technically the guy. It's just that some people think higher of him than anything. But even Mac Jones was 3rd overall pick at some point, and that shit proved to be not really true. So I mean, it happens.
Yeah, I don't like Mac Jones, man. I never did. But anywho, but yeah, I think there's a couple things that mock draft was missing right now, at least. I think there's going to be 3 to 4 maybe tight ends to go in the first round. And I know that's kind of like hard to wrap our heads around because we don't like watching tight ends. But I think guys like a Darnell Washington and the Dalton Kincaid, or you'll get to later, could go with Michael Mayer in that first round conversation. I think there's 6 corners, and I think the corners are going to go a lot higher than people are saying. Devon Witherspoon, who just went at 26 or whatever in that mock draft, I think he's going to be a top 15 pick. Cam Smith is my number 5 overall prospect, period. And I would draft him very high.
The cornerback Cam Smith that just got mocked, like what, 22 or something like that? He's your 5th overall player? What?
Number 5 overall player.
Okay, where he from? What school that is?
South Carolina. He's like
South Carolina.
He's kind of like J.C. Horn, kind of. I don't want to say exactly, but he's kind of like J.C. Horn.
Okay, I'll think about it. I'll look at corners in April or something, and we'll talk about it. Go ahead.
No, but I just want to call in, give you my perspective on that mock draft. I think there's going to be guys every year that we have these really good Senior Bowls, and we're watching it now at DeJuan Jones or whatever. But I think a guy like a Keanu Benton is a D lineman from Wisconsin. He could end up in that first round conversation. I'll be interested to see how the D lineman guys go.
See, you just showing off. I don't know these people, man. You just showing off, Nick Gash. I don't know them folks, man. Come on.
Hey, I learned a few things from Nick's IG, brother. I've been on there and learning some things.
Hey man, shouts out to Nick Gash, man. If he just take his brand serious, if I should give him a push, and he'll be famous. But he don't want to make no money. Go ahead, Nick.
But anyway, we got Jalen Carter at the top. I think he's going to be like the first. Like if I were sitting in one, you had this conversation with Will Steele earlier here.
Yeah.
I don't care about positional value. I'm going all Jalen Carter at 1.
I agree.
Fantastic. I don't
Fantastic.
want to trade down to 4 with Indianapolis and potentially lose out on Jalen Carter with Arizona. You know what I mean? I would just stick there, take him at 1, and move on. That's my perspective.
Fair enough. Appreciate you, Nick Ash. Good call, man.
If he's that guy, you got to make it happen.
Yeah, man, 100%, man. Man, that dude just so good, Will. Still like that dude just. And look, Will Anderson good too, because I know just based on that conversation. Look, somebody sent the super chat. I lost it. We them boys. Stop disrespecting Anderson. He ain't no Aquaman, bro. You know how fire Aquaman is.
And that's the funny thing is that wasn't a disrespect.
Like that's what I'm saying, bro. Like Aquaman is incredible.
Yeah.
He just ain't Superman. He just ain't the first 2 best motherfuckers in Justice League. Get over yourself. Get over yourself. Look, man. Look. Cyclops leads the X-Men. He ain't the strongest. He like what? He what? 5th strongest? 6th strongest? He the leader. Like, hey, that shit happens. Shit happens. Kyle Cornett said, I just know who that is. You're just behind Voch. Kyle, I don't like DBs. Fuck DBs. I don't care. And look, let me tell you something. This ain't no race. Everybody know more people than me. You know more players than me. What I've learned about draft season, Will, still, is this ain't a race. This is like people watch film whenever they want to watch them. They learn players whenever they want to watch them. But then they come to my show just to see what I got to say about them. You know what I mean? They just come to me for the affirmation. Y'all maniacs been watching film since October. I don't. You know what I mean? But I learned a long time ago doing draft work, and this ain't me shooting at Kyle. I just know Kyle having fun. I learned a long time about draft season. Boy, it is not about who first, because a lot of these motherfuckers who first, they just look, man. Who was that quarterback? Chat. There was a quarterback from Miami, Felicia from Friday's Son.
Yeah.
And they was looking at him like he was the first overall pick, the quarterback from Miami. And then a couple drafts get in, a couple mocks come in and dudes really start watching film, and then he just goes away. Cardale Jones from Ohio State. Brad Kaya, thank you. Cardale Jones from Ohio State. People were swearing he was the first overall pick. More film comes out. He goes away. A lot of people try to be first just to get those clicks out, but I'd rather be right at the end. Let's move on. Let's get DJ on the phone, see what he's talking about. What's up, DJ?
Hey, what's going on, Voch? What's up, Sky? How y'all doing today, bro?
Cool and player. What you got for the show?
Man, I keep looking at it, and I keep coming back to I feel like the most interesting kind of situation to watch in the draft, just as a pure draft stuff, not necessarily player in the draft, is the Cardinals at number 3, because I think that's kind of pivotal on their situation with Kyler. Now, all assumptions to be made. I understand what I'm saying. Like, they're probably keeping Kyler because it's Kyler. But at number 3, assuming that Chicago doesn't trade out of the first pick, it's almost guaranteed that they have a shot at Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud, depending on how much they like those guys. I just kind of wanted to ask, like, what would you deem more valuable, Kyler Murray or the number 3 pick with potential to be Kyler's replacement? Which one would you deem more valuable?
I just had this Illuminati theory that the organization don't like Kyler Murray no way. And bro, Call of Duty come out every year, man. So I think it would behoove them to not even consider quarterback. I think it'll just be irresponsible to consider quarterback. If I'm Arizona, I mean, look, you understand, like, Kyler Murray is a guy, but Arizona about to get a new head coach, right?
Yep.
So we don't know if they like Kyler Murray. We don't know, like the next head coach could be like a hard-nosed guy, and maybe they don't like Kyler Murray pouting and shit. You know what I mean? So maybe that dude goes, "Hey man, just shop Kyler Murray to see what we can get back, see if we can get some picks back," and then they just draft the quarterback that they really want. Like it's not like the Arizona Cardinals won enough games to be like, "Oh well, we just gonna run this back and just do whatever we're gonna do next year." Like they not in a rebuild, but like people talking about shopping Nuke Hopkins and things like that, bro. Like Arizona could blow this thing up. We don't really know what that move is just yet. So it's up to the new coach. If the new coach come in there and be like, "Hey man, I would love to coach Arizona, but I don't want to put up with the whiny little bitty motherfucker." You know what I mean? Hey, it wouldn't surprise me if they draft a dude that they really want and try to get some picks for him. It wouldn't shock me at all.
And that's my big thing too, because I mean Kyler kind of came in and got the perfect situation. I mean, it was a terrible coaching job, but air rated. He's kind of like the perfect quarterback for that, at least the way that Cliff Kingsbury was selling it. So with him being gone now, you get the regime change, and also because overall, defensive wise, yeah, they could use another defender. You could always use another defender, but at the same time, if you're going in a complete different direction and you're going to be teaching a brand new scheme anyway, I think just me personally, if I was a coach, I just want to have my mark on it and not have to get rid of other people's miscoaching or mistakes, so to speak. But that's just me.
Fair enough. I don't dislike it. I think ultimately they hang around and just keep Kyler and try to build around him. But that little motherfucker, man, that little motherfucker, hilarious, bro. All right, DJ, appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
Yep. But then again, if you Arizona, you might not want to overthink this. If Jalen Carter's on the board for you, take him. You know what I mean? If Will Anderson is there, just build your defense up. While you try to do things on offense with Kyler, hey, do your thing. I wouldn't be surprised if they just draft quarterback anyway and just have some dudes sitting behind it. Hey, shit happens, man.
They will have to if the new staff does not want Kyler Murray, they're going to have to deal with it for at least a year, probably. Yep. Unless they're just willing to take a ridiculous dead cap next year. I mean, you're talking almost $50 million in dead cap next year.
So if anything,
you know what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
Yeah, you're not saving any money this year.
Yeah.
And it has to be a post June 1st trade. You're not trading him pre June 1st because you're losing even more. You're losing like almost $100 million in dead cap. Plus, you're not saving anything. You're losing $43 million. So his contract plus the injury, you're stuck with Kyler for at least a year, most likely. But if they say, hey, listen, we'll draft this young buck and we'll give him a shot, Kyler might not even be ready to come back. Remember, he tore his ACL.
That's fair.
So they're going to have to make that decision. Whoever comes in, the ownership is going to have to say, are you with Kyler or not? Because we got to make that, and there's going to be sacrifices.
But I'm sure everybody's heard the rumors about that dude and how he is, and they've seen him pouting on TV. Like, this is really going to be interesting, man. Just to kind of see how all this unfolds, man. But anyway, ain't our problem. That's on them.
Yeah. I
love Joe Sandberg so much, man. Joe, I love Joe. What's up, Joe Sandberg, man? What's good with you, man?
And all's going better than yesterday.
Yeah, I feel you, bro. You're doing a little better, man. You're doing all right, man. You're good to go. You've been taking your vitamins and drinking your orange juice and shit, bro.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you, my guy. What you got for the show?
So evidently in this draft world, evidently there is a Will Levis high, which they're saying he's the best quarterback in this draft.
Right.
So potentially you have like three different answers of the way you're going to get at quarterback as far as like the first quarterback off the board.
Yep.
And
love Joe.
And to be honest, like if you trade away from Will Anderson, I can understand it because he's actually a little bit closer to what Tyree Wilson does, because Tyree Wilson actually does it more consistently.
So you like Will Anderson? Hold on, you like Tyree more than Will Anderson?
At this point, they're pretty much it's a preference at this point.
Sure.
It's just like they're in the same tier.
Okay. I'll be watching the Edges next week, so we'll see. Go ahead.
But for right now, I'm leaning Wilson over Anderson, but that's not my final answer. Yeah, I still have till April.
Sure. Fair enough, Joe. That's all you got?
That's all I got.
Appreciate you, Joe. I love Joe, man. Look, Joe really let this shit marinate, man. All right, what's going on, Joe? How you feel? Some people talking about drafting a running back in the first round. I'm like, yeah, Joe, tell me about it. Man, it's we have evidence of dudes doing this and it not working out. So why would you,
Why would you,
I'm like, right, Joe. I'll be like, right. Talk that shit. Be like, all right, Joe, I'm going by. I'm like, all right, Joe, holla. I love Joe.
He burn one and he come on and be like, yeah, I feel you, dog. Yeah.
Bro, if it was anybody else, I would hate it. But Joe just he just got a dry timing about how he say shit, man. I love Joe, man. Shouts out to Joe Sandberg. He be watching all the content, bro. Salute to you. 562, what's up? Who this?
Hey, it's Spark. Hey, Good afternoon, Voch and Sky.
Appreciate you.
Good
Appreciate
afternoon,
you.
sir.
Welcome to the show. What you got for the show?
All right, thank you. So check it out. Normally, right now, I know you guys are talking about drafts and everything.
Sure.
But I just happen to catch up on all your shows due to my schedule because I can't catch them like while they're live. So I caught your show. I think it was Monday afternoon with Sky, and you talked about how some dude hit you up about Dak not being. How is Dak going to adapt to Mike McCarthy's system when you can't even understand Kellen Moore's system, right? And you said, well, Will Greer said it was complicated, right?
Right.
You talked about Will Greer saying it was complicated.
Right.
This whatever option route system.
Sure.
Well, he's not the only person who said that. There's a person in 2018 who came here from the Raiders, and he was asked in a post-game press conference after a game. He said, "What's the difference between the Dallas Cowboys offense and the Raiders offense?" And that person, Amari Cooper, who is known as a smart dude, right? He's known as like one of the cerebral dudes. He said, oh, no. He said the Raiders offense is way easier. You learn one position as a receiver, one position, and you run your route, and that's it. So I know I'm a day late, right? I'm a couple of days late on that. You're talking draft right now, but that's to further prove the point of what you were talking about in that day, a couple of days ago. Yeah, Amari Cooper should have said it. He said, Raiders offense was simple. Boom, you learn one spot. That's it. You run that route. And he said over here, the difference was over here, the receivers learned every position.
Sure.
Over there, he learned one. So that's why you see Jalen Hurts. My bad. Not Jalen Hurts. Tolbert.
Yep.
And then maybe a Fehoko.
Yep.
Maybe that's why they don't catch on. Maybe they're learning too much. I don't know.
I'd be down.
Right?
Yeah.
Something to it.
Okay. That's it, dude. I'm just trying to bring that to you real quick. Maybe with this West Coast, they're going to simple it down. You run your route. That's it. It'll be faster.
I'll be damned.
Right? Am I right or am I right?
Yes, sir. What's your name again?
Sure. Yeah.
Rob. Well, in the chat, it's Spot. Can you save me?
Spock. Okay, cool.
I know who.
Yeah, I know you. I'm gonna put you down as Spock. All right. Hey, man, this was a fantastic callback, man. That was a fantastic nugget. Appreciate you, Spock.
Amari in 2018.
Yeah.
Amari, he said that they asked him, and he got happy. And you never see him get happy. He said, "Oh man, Raiders was simple. You run one route. You learn one position. Instead of here, you learn everyone.
Yeah.
That's why we see the young dudes like our ethics not getting time.
Tobin, Sammy.
Hopefully going forward, it'll be better.
Yeah. Yo, Spock, fantastic call. I just put you down flat. Next time you call, I know it's you, man. Appreciate you.
I think, brother.
Yes, sir.
It's good stuff, Spock.
He was gonna get that recap in.
Right. It's like my sons do stuff like that, man. When they come to me with some information or look what I did, I'm like, oh man, I'm genuinely surprised. Yeah, see, because I did put this together. I know you told me.
You sure did. So my point is, I put this together and I'm like, well, hey, I got you, buddy.
But no, that is a great callback, man.
Yo, that's fantastic callback because it's very relevant to what we're saying. But I like how we put spin on it and say, yeah, but bro, like maybe that's why Tolbert and Semi not catching on. So this whole time, Tolbert and Semi could be somebody helping us if they ain't got to learn 3 damn positions. That's fair.
And you go all the way back to Gallup. Gallup didn't catch on to the end of the season.
Right.
And then who else do we have in here? If you look at, we'll say, what about CeeDee Lamb, Scott? Well, CeeDee Lamb played the slot 93% of the time his first year. They didn't ask him to do a whole lot. They said go in the slot. And
to this day, he's still running the wrong goddamn route. So
right, year 3, yeah.
So shit, that's fair. That and maybe that cuts down on turnovers in the long run. So
for sure,
fair enough.
When your coach came out and said it's the most aggressive option route offense he's ever seen.
Let's dial some. Less is more, my guy. Less is more. Let's get this last call in. 847. What's up? Who this?
What's going on, Bosh? This is Eddie.
What's up, Eddie? What you got for the show?
I got a question for you. Actually, 2 questions. One is, are we sold on Justin Fields being better than all these quarterbacks coming out? Are we 100% sure he's better than everybody coming out?
I'm a Justin Fields fan.
And then,
so.
I like Justin Fields.
Yeah, and I'm saying I do too, but it's like I don't. if you draft one of these young guys coming out, it's going to reset your clock and get you some more. And you got $100+ million in, I guess, cap, right, for the Bears. They got a lot to play with, and you can get two more years from one of these young ones coming out. Then the other question is,
hold on, time. I think Justin Fields has at least shown you that he can bring something to your offense, though. And to be fair, if you look at his surrounding cast, I mean, it ain't perfect.
And coaching.
So, and coaching for sure. So yeah, I mean, they'll probably end up taking a D tackle. I really wish they didn't send that second round pick to go get Claypool, because I don't think that adds up like that. That math ain't mathing to me. But I think, you know, you just try to get help for Justin Fields and then see what you can get from him on the back end. You know what I mean? Trevor Lawrence, I mean, they had to go put the money up to give him some guys around him, but they put the money up and it worked out for him. So
and think about, again, and I know I always talk about coaching, but look at Jalen Hurts, man. Jalen Hurts, sure. People were ready to move on, but you got the right system around him. You got in the front office who gave him some guys, and they're allowing him to do what he is best at. They're not asking him to carry the entire offense. And you know, I'm just saying, give Fields, if I'm the Bears, a shot at doing that, and then move on, because he's got some good traits.
Sure, but go ahead though. Second question.
Yeah, I agree with you. And then the second one is, if you are Houston, and you really want, you know, and the word is out, scuttlebutt is that the Bears going to trade to Indy to get Bryce Young, and you really want Bryce Young, would you give up that second and 12th pick to jump them?
If you're Houston, I wouldn't do that, man. Houston sitting at the 3rd overall pick,
second.
Nah, man.
And they really want Bryce Young.
No, man. Hold your picks, man. Hold your picks, bro. Hold your pick, because if anything, you don't anticipate the Bears drafting quarterback. And if somebody give up all those picks to move up to the Bears to get their pick, you just got to live and die in LA, bro. And if somebody take Bryce first overall, hey man, we get CJ Stroud. But hold on to the picks that you have, and then take your second first round pick and just try to build guys around them. I'm not giving up a first round pick to one spot.
Bryce would have to be viewed as Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Right? Coming out.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow was the guy. People were calling Cincinnati to come get that. It was like, no.
I don't even think Bryce that dude. I don't even think Bryce that dude.
If he ain't that dude, then I'm saying right at 2, and I'll take Stroud if I want Stroud or Levis or whoever the hell they might want at quarterback.
Yeah, but y'all just said it though, right? By the end of this draft cycle, you know, it's going to be some superhero that's going to emerge out of these 4 quarterbacks. It's going to be, you know, the best talent since so. That happens every year.
But Joe didn't emerge. Yeah, Joe didn't emerge. Joe was the guy from the bat.
Yeah,
you know, off the bat came in. And is anybody saying that about Bryce Young? Does anybody feel that way about Bryce Young? Is what I'm saying. So I don't know that, because if I'm at 1 and y'all want to come up and get Bryce, I'm going to put the ski mask on to Houston.
If Bryce was Joe, it'd be a long list of people trying to jump to go get the number 1. You know what I'm saying? And it'll be unanimous Bryce. I don't think it's unanimous Bryce. Like when Joe was out, there was another quarterback that was around when that was in Joe's class. But
that was the Tua. What was that? The one that was the
Tua
draft. Tua and Herbert and them boys. Yeah.
Look, man. You know, Herbert had his fan club. Tua had his fan club, but you know, we knew it was Joe.
But Joe was consensus.
Joe was the guy.
Good question.
Appreciate you, my guy. What's your name again?
Eddie from Wisconsin.
Eddie. All right, we're gonna put you down, Eddie. Appreciate you, my guy. I'll just put you down platinum. Next time you call in, I know it's you. Yes, sir. Good calls today, man. Good calls today. Good call. See, man, draft season does that. You know what I mean? Draft season has a lot more of a community feel. You know, in the regular season, we get people like Blade Brown and shit. You know what I mean? It's nonsense in the regular season. But draft, shit, we all want information. We all just want to trade thoughts. You know what I mean? Bryce isn't much better than Stroud. There's some people that'll say Bryce ain't better than Stroud. That's what's so interesting about this thing. You know what I mean? But whatever. Moving on. We all knew Joe was better than Tua and Justin. Anyway, let's get into some supers. Let's read some supers. Appreciate y'all for being here. Love this tune. Let's start with the volume side. Hit the little refresh button. See what's going on here. Andrew Vanderpool. Today's the 2nd, right? Yep. Andrew Vanderpool from the volume side dropped 5. It says, with a breakout like Bland, is cornerback still at the top of our radar? Because I really badly want Jalen Hyatt out of Tennessee. Appreciate it, Andrew. We're gonna get a lot more educated with I know my stance on Jalen, but I just need to know all the players that are surrounding Jalen in the draft pool right now for us to, So yeah, Jalen would be a fun player, but what if this guy's there? What if that guy's there? You know what I mean? So we definitely got to have that conversation to probably narrow this thing down. But to your original question, yes, I think DaRon Bland has done enough to kind of ease your cornerback woes. So cornerback is something that you would love to have. And I do think it'll ultimately come down to some form of BPA. It may be BPA out of tackle, wide receiver, and corner.
BPA per need.
Per need. But I think personally, we have enough at corner to where we don't have to force to pick at corner. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Appreciate you though.
Like we said earlier, I don't think you're going into cornerback position in a draft like you were in week 5, 6, right? DaRon Bland, like you said in the super chat, showed up. And if you need to live with DaRon Bland, Diggs, and J-Lo, I think you can. So, and I wouldn't say it's 1, 2, but top 5, sure.
Matt Owen says Hyatt is a 2nd round guy. And I tend to believe that. So Foot's talking about he'll trade up in the 1st round to go get him, make me want to fight him, but we ain't talking about that.
And we in February. We know by the time we get to the April, he may end up moving up if that's the case.
Foot's be like, my bad, Voch. But as soon as Jalen Hyatt score any kind of touchdown, it could be week 17, he get his first. I told y'all Jalen Hyatt was going to be good.
Every time Jahad Dotson made a catch, my boy Foots was out there.
See, Foots is on record saying something nice about everybody in this draft. Just so he could be like, I told y'all XYZ was going to be good.
Let me tweet this out here.
Right.
Ryan Leaf.
Right. Just in case. Look, because if Leaf is bad, nobody even brings the tweet back up. But just in case, we need to know.
Yeah, we got Foots on tomorrow. I had to bring that up.
Shouts out to Foots. I'll be tuned in. Foots going to be on in the morning with you?
Yeah. The Senior Bowl stuff. Yep.
Senior Bowl stuff. A to Z Dallas in the morning, y'all, on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
And on the Voch side, appreciate y'all. Brandon J. There's a lot of Brandons in his universe. Brandon J. dropped 5. It says, "What's up, Voch? Never been on Patreon. Is that an app like YouTube? Can you watch your film breakdowns at any time on there? Keep up the good work." Patreon.com is a website. You go to Patreon.com and you can go to patreon.com/Voch Lombardi and there'll be my list up there. You can put whatever you want to put in there, but if you want to do $1 a month, that's up to you. If you feel fantastic about the work that we putting in, you can put in more. But by putting in there, you get my whole library of film work that I've done. So all the draft film that we've done and are going to do. And if you want to go all the way back to my Cowboy film sessions, those will be there for you. Also, that's patreon.com/Voch Lombardi. It is an app, and some people use the app, but you can go on a web browser, type in patreon.com/Voch Lombardi. You can watch on the computer, you can watch on the phone, whatever you want to do. That's on you. And it's fantastic work. So everything that you hear me say, like when I say, boy, Peter Skoronski cannot handle length, you'll see the kid from Michigan putting his long arm in his chest and Peter going like this, trying to get him up off of him. And I go, look at him. That's him not handling length. Or that's him not being strong. Oh, he was nasty on this play. Oh, but he trash right here. And we even went to YouTube to watch a couple plays. Like we really get into the film work. So patreon.com is a bargain if y'all are into the long form content like that. But appreciate you. Just had to sell myself one time, Will Steele. You know how I go.
Hey, dude, it's your show, brother. Let them know.
We them boys who hate the Cowboys. Dropped the dude said, "Stop disrespecting Anderson. He ain't no Aquaman." That just tells us how you feel about Aquaman. Appreciate you, sir. Lavish D dropped the 5. It says, "Any Senior Bowl one-on-one content, nothing better than hearing you butcher names." Nah, man, because it's it's a little more difficult for me to get we work for the volume now, so I just can't be stealing TV copies like I used to. Not that I used to steal TV copies.
I remember those days. You do a whole live stream or something. Let's just go ahead and watch the NFL Network version of the Senior Bowl. That was good stuff, man. Yeah.
on my channel to this day, I still got the whole Baker Mayfield Senior Bowl just sitting on my channel with 170-some thousand views. It's gonna be there too. But yeah, that's so. We work for the volume now, so we ain't. You know.
I mean, two dudes that I saw some one-on-ones that we'll talk about tomorrow, and I'm excited about. The Ivan kid, the linebacker from Cincy, and Tank Bell, the wide receiver, shifty, quick mother. Yeah.
Nathaniel Dale, man, look, bro, from Houston. My whole thing, bro, is Dallas ain't gonna draft. Yeah, same thing. Nathaniel Tank Dale. That's the name, whatever. So he'll probably be one of them like Julio guys, but his name ain't Julio for real. But we'll just call him Tank. Y'all know the Cowboys ain't drafting nobody under 6 foot, let alone under 5'11". You know what I mean? And it hurt, man, because some of my favorite receivers so far that I've seen that I'll go, man, y'all will be fantastic in the, just in our offense doing anything.
Oh yeah,
like they little bitty dudes, man. Zay Flowers, Josh Downs, Tank Dell, like those little dudes.
Yeah,
I don't like it, man.
McCarthy's not a big fan of the smaller guys either, man.
But they so good, man. Oh, Will Steele, they so good. And Tank Dell will actually do something on, kick return, punt return. He'll actually give you some on offense, unlike,
Yeah.
I ain't say nothing. I ain't say nobody's name. Will Steele. I left it to interpretation.
Wow. So I don't know how real this is, but as we were talking about Kyler, I just saw this scrolling on Twitter. The Cardinals are reportedly struggling to hire a head coach because nobody wants to put up with Kyler Murray. Now this comes from Barstool, so I don't know how real this. They could be a parody type of situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is interesting. We were just talking about that.
Basically, fuck them.
Boy, it's gonna be interesting, ain't it? It's gonna be interesting to see how that turn out. But honestly, bro, I think that's the thing. And I don't have no insiders or nothing like that. I ain't got no plugs on information. But I just simply feel like, man, like we see Kyler Murray pouting on TV.
Yeah. So
just imagine how it is like weekly. Like you have to put in his contract and make him study 40 hours a week or 20 hours a week. Yeah, just 20 hours. Like making him study 20 hours a week, bro. Like, I don't think anybody want to deal with that.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers rather go to Houston and deal with that. Goddamn Houston. Anyway, appreciate you, Will Steele, for that. Justin Hewitt dropped a dime and says, who are realistic teams that could draft Bijan Robinson ahead of the Cowboys? I don't think nobody need to be drafting running back that early. I think anybody. Let me go back and take it.
I'm looking Chargers. I don't know what their needs are, but Chargers, I could see that. They go with Eckler.
Let's see.
Baltimore? I don't know.
Baltimore maybe, but I would imagine they would want to draft wide receiver. Pittsburgh just spent a pick on what's the name.
And we don't think he's going to go top 15, do we? I mean, he's top 15 talent, but we're still talking about a running back. I got Chargers, Baltimore. Oh, look at this one. What if the Giants decide to not bring back Saquon Barkley and then they draft Bijan Robinson? Yeah.
I think everybody's pretty solid at run. I mean, the Eagles wouldn't get him at 10. I think everybody's pretty solid at running back.
They don't need him with that scheme.
Yeah, they don't need him, but hey, but in real life shit, nobody, you know what I'm saying? The way running back is, nobody need him. Nobody need running back like that. Just how much better do you want to be at running back? You know what I mean? Me personally, I don't want to be the guy that gotta, you know what I mean? They got to do the whole first round running back thing. Yeah, I don't want to be that guy.
Down this road. Give me. I value the running scheme over the running back.
Yeah. Appreciate you though, Justin. That's all we got on Supers. I'm hit refresh one more time. Appreciate you, players. Love y'all to pieces. Somebody asked me about somebody I ain't never heard of. Yo, look, chat. It's February 2nd. I got y'all. I'll get that. Marcus Harris, you got something for us, sir? You have anything for us, sir? Oh yeah, Eddie. He says, Voch, I need your 2 cents on Israel Abani Kanda, running back from Pittsburgh. Sir, what makes you think I've seen him already? What makes you think I've watched that guy? Abani Kanda. What makes you think?
Wakanda?
Bum 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 bum. Come on, man. Know these people? No, not that one. Here we go. Come on, man. You know we don't know these people. Here we go. Give it away now. Marcus
Please.
Hardison says,
That's my shit, Loki.
at the volume, that's me and Will Steele, in case y'all ain't know.
Yes, sir.
At the volume, leadership, that seems to be a theme of the
week.
Quotes later.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. Leadership, right. Leadership is the result of high intention, sincere effort, intelligent direction, skillful execution, and the vision to see obstacles as opportunities. Come on now. Hey, leadership is the result of high intention, sincere effort, intelligent direction, skillful execution, and the vision to see obstacles as opportunities. Come on, dog. Leadership mirrors excellence. Lions sleep outside, in case y'all didn't know. UNLV, in case y'all didn't know. The N's for Negans. What else I said?
There was a leadership one at the end, I believe.
Yeah, the leadership back there. Yo, Marcus Harris, appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much.
Leadership mirrors excellence, yes.
The leadership, thank you, sir. Appreciate you, Marcus Harrison. We love you to pieces, sir, for just enlightening us, keeping us on task. You feel me? We'll still appreciate you, sir, for tapping in with me. Another fantastic addition to the draft show.
Yes,
and look, man, the more we watch, man, the more film we watch, the more smooth these draft shows gonna get, man. The more back and forth we're gonna give you, the more information we're gonna give you, man. So look, it's only gonna get better from here. It's only gonna get better from here.
Maybe be a little bit of film to come on the show one day. We'll see.
Hey man, we're still trying to threaten y'all with a party. You feel me? With that being said, hit the subscribe button. We appreciate y'all. Hit the like button on both sides, the Voch and the volume side. I know y'all ain't been liking the film session. It's okay. Well, y'all haven't been liking the videos, and that's all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, y'all have y'all rights, but it'll do us a huge favor if y'all just hit the like button. You know what I mean? It don't even cost y'all
virtual
money. Virtual currency for us. You know what I'm saying? Hit that button. Follow me on all my platforms, VOCHLOMBARDI, patreon.com/Voch Lombardi for the full film sessions, twitch.tv/Voch Lombardi for my non-gaming content where I'm playing Sekiro and watching and watching nature I ain't think of that. And watching nature documentaries, and we do all kinds. Like, we listen to music, we do other little fun stuff. Lil Yachty has a fantastic album, and I never thought in my whole life I said that because I can't stand Lil Yachty, but that motherfucker got a banger of a new album. We talk about things like that on Patreon, movies and everything. So be sure to tap into the Patreon page. To twitch.tv/Voch Lombardi. It's the non-football content. We might talk about that shit on Patreon also. And being point guarded by the best in the business, Will Steele. If you want some of his content, you tap in with him on Skywalker Steele on Twitter, and A to Z Dallas on YouTube from 8:30 to 10:30 sometimes in the morning. Appreciate you, sir. For the rest of y'all, man, y'all hold down for the Doski Walls and the Peasky Whiskey. Until next time, Ben Ewer says Patreon film tonight. No, because I just gave you 2 in a row. Volume.
Bars.
Beats Planet.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?